Hey, Clear Lake peeps. Ross England here, Clear Lake Guide Service with your report, or my report, for what's happening on Clear Lake. Not only for this past week, but this coming weekend. Today is May 2nd, 2024. And you guys ever seen the wind blow? You ever seen the wind blow on Clear Lake? What a rotten way to start a good month. Okay, here we go. Lake level, 7.54, down about we'll round it off and call it 0.2, a fifth of a foot since last week. There's some really big spikes due to wind, and you can see it on the graph, but just, it's what can we say? It's 1st of May and the lake is full. That's a good thing. Water temperature, what I've seen is 60 to 61 starting in the morning, and the warmest earlier in the week I saw a little bit warmer temps, but coming off the water today, which is Wednesday, it was 63, at least up in the Lakeport area. Pretty, I think last week's report, I saw 67 or 68 degree water temperature, and it could be out there somewhere. I can tell you that we built fires for the last 3 mornings in a row. It's been cold in the mornings. So even though it says it's getting up into the really low 70s this week, mornings have been cold. So that's water temperature. I'm sure if you get back into Conocti Bay, it's a little bit different. I'm sure down in the Keys, Bob would tell you it's a little bit different. But at any rate, where it was pushing on hitting 70 a week ago, it's having a hard time hitting 63, 64 right now. Water clarity sucks. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. The clearest water that I have seen this week is about 3.5 foot of clear visibility. I could see bottom at 4 feet in a couple of areas, but I couldn't tell you what was on the bottom. I could just tell, it was a dark color or a light color. So really affects my game plan, because mid-April, especially through mid-June, all I want to do is sight fish. And there's just, with the wind blowing, it's a combination. The water clarity is both hindered by algae of several different kinds, carp moving up into the shallows to do their thing, and wind. After I did this report last week, I heard because I haven't been down there, but I heard the redbud arm was showing some pretty good green pea soup algae on the surface. So if it's already started, I know that the part of the lake that I've been able to get into, the surface is pretty clear, or clean, I should say. And it's one of those deals where, and I said this last year, if you're 150, 200 yards offshore, the water looks pretty clear and it looks like, okay, this is going to be pretty cool. And then you get up to where you're, 50 yards from shore, 75 yards from shore, and all of a sudden the water starts to stain up, and pretty soon you can't see anything. So that's the situation from what I've seen. Have not seen any weed growth of any consequence. One of the things that's really been annoying is there is a lot of the unofficial word lake snot, just that green slimy crud that's on the bottom, that if you try to drag a bait through a lot of that stuff, you're picking it up. So those would be the environmental conditions. I know that there was a BBT scheduled for this coming Saturday, and I think as of today, it was canceled due to the weather that's forecast to happen Friday and Saturday. Saturday's high is only supposed to be 52 degrees. So, and a bunch of wind. We haven't had enough of that. You guys don't know what wind is, do ya? No. Yeah, it's been ugly, just flat ugly. So anyway, the only thing that I know of that was scheduled for this coming weekend was BBT. I think it's a wine region, and it has been canceled. I'm sure it'll be rescheduled to another time. So kudos to Randy and his crew. Right now, it's looking like a real good decision, and a smart one that, you know, tournament organizations should think a little bit more about their clients. Yeah, good job there. Appreciate it. So that's it for the environmental, what's happening, all that nonsense. Let's talk about fishing a little bit. It's been a tough week. Tough week. You know, when it's windy like this, it just forces everybody into the same water. You're fishing on top of yourself. Sometimes, you know, if you have to fish multiple days in a row, you're fishing the same stuff that you're stuck fishing with. And it shows. We've had a very, very rough week. We've caught fish mostly on a drop shot. That's been about the most productive thing for us. I think we had a couple of Ned rig fish. Couldn't get bit on spinnerbait. Tried it. And really, it's just not been fun. I think we had a 6-fish day. Was our best day this week. And we had a 1 fish lost at the boat day. So that's the range of highs and lows. And a big part of it, and I'll be the first to admit it, is you launch it. You go to the county park to launch, and there's whitecaps blowing by, headed towards the Narrows. You go to Lakeport, and the wind's blowing offshore. You're not going to go run down south in those kind of conditions. We had one afternoon where it kind of lightened up a little bit. We got in the Tules and we caught some fish. But other than that, that's been pretty much it. You know, I was scheduled to go tomorrow, canceled that trip. I tried to get out of today, and it just, we'll see. Eventually the wind will quit blowing. May's always been, you know, it's kind of funny because April was always a pretty good month with clear water, a lot of sight fishing opportunity, calm days, and then May would show up and it would get windier than heck. Well, this is definitely, the tail end of April was that way, and May is starting out full bore doing the same thing. So I have been in a couple of areas where I saw hitch being chased or some kind of bait fish that looks like hitch. But for the most part, I just really haven't been able to see a whole lot of anything. I know that they're actively running shock boats out there in the canals and the creeks looking for carp. I have not seen a whole lot of them. I've seen some carp in some areas, but not like what I am used to seeing this time of year. But, you know, the temperature's not quite up to that point yet either. So that's about it. That's my report for what it's worth. Again, kudos to Randy and his crew for making a tough, but I think a good decision. And we'll see you folks next week. Have a good one.